All right, guys. So last weekend was Born Free Show down here in Socal. It's one of the biggest chopper shows in the U.S. I think 100,000 people go every year. Two of my good buddies were building bikes for the show this year. They came down. My buddy Eric, Northern Springers. He's up in Winnipeg, Canada. My good buddy Lee from back home in North Dakota. I mean, we grew up together and started building bikes together. So that was really cool to see his bike. He built a bike the last 2 years for Born Free, but he came down as well. So spent the last couple week like hanging out with them, and we went to the show and I filmed a little bit about their bikes, but my camera ran out of storage, so I didn't film too much, unfortunately. And also our good buddy Eli from Regina, Saskatchewan. He was building a bike for the People's Champ that Biltwell puts on. He didn't end up making it to the final six, but he decided to finish his bike anyways and bring it on down. And it's this crazy dual carb panhead. So I filmed a little bit about that. I didn't get much about Lee's bike, unfortunately, because my camera just ran out of storage because I blew it. But I didn't film that much at the show either, just because it's so hectic with all the people. But I was able to go Thursday before the show when everyone loads in. And that's when I filmed a little bit. So, yeah, enjoy.
I couldn't put it in now. I can get it 3 kicks. Like give it a couple of tries.
Well, let's see it.
Turn to idle.
I don't believe it. Does it?
Should we try?
Try it.
Sinking. Am I moving this can? Help move the bike over.
Got your fuel
We're just gonna embarrass myself.
Might embarrass you.
Well, we're not leaving till it starts.
Might not have it.
Brought a non-running bike all the way from Canada.
Are we good to go? The banjo fittings, yeah. Brian and I had a little contest that he wasn't in agreement to. He said he'd give me $10,000 if I put more banjo fittings on it than he had on his Born Free bike, and I came pretty short, and I skirted some of the rules, but we tried. I don't know if this won't do anything. Equalizer fork line, it's not doing shit, but it looks funny. And then this one here, he was pretty questionable on this one. It's taken a lot of people a minute. A few people have gotten it. But that's just a blind hole with a hole drilled through the banjo bolts. That's the crankcase breather. But some people think the transmission oil is going into the engine is kind of the idea. But yeah. This is dual front head. It's an 88-inch motor with a custom-made Lineweber L3S cam. I started cutting into the heads a couple years ago, and then this winter obviously finished them up. So yeah, I don't really like the stock panhead exhaust spigots, so I cut them all out and put tubes in, 1 3/4 tube, and then machined some slugs to go in the exhaust, and they obviously attach by spring now. So I did that to both, and then carried all the fins. As kind of a massive make work project, but kind of happy with how it came out. It looks a little different. And yeah, all the heads are all externally oiled to accommodate for the dual front heads, because the factory oiling wouldn't line up. So we have like the drains and the feeds there that kind of loop back to a banjo bolt naturally. Hopefully seals.
What kind of carbs are you running?
These are Mikuni VM38s. And they're like, I was gonna do Super Bs originally, but I don't think I'd ever be able to get it started if I did. But yeah, it's kind of going off of like the 50s and 60s drag bikes, kind of just trying shit out and seeing how it goes. So it runs, and it seemed like, I think the Mikunis make it run half decent. I put these like adjustable main jets on it, and I don't know, trying to get like any bit of power that I can, and we'll see how it goes down the road once she's tuned up. But
what's that tire?
It's a Goodyear Super Eagle drag car front runner. So it's a little harder than the regular drag slicks, and it's meant to go on the front tire on like a gasser. Just from Summit Racing, but yeah, I was kind of stoked on that. Want to do like something with like a ton of rubber and like super chunky.
What's going on with your brakes here?
Brakes, yeah. Okay, so came up with that idea like a long ago. So I took 2 star hubs and cut them in half and put 2 of the star sides together. You can see on the front. And I thought it'd be funny if I welded them together really nice with TIG and then put a 60-10 pass over top and just chromed right over it. So we did it. And then the back is 2 brake sides with the brake drum just being used as a sprocket. And then I made this adapter that is way overly complicated, but I mean, it works for me. And then this like floating bracket for the rotor just kind of slides with the wheel and is just on 2 studs put through the frame. But there's a lot of moving parts in what should be a simple setup, but it's...
What'd you do to your drum here?
Yeah, drilled a bunch of holes in it, reinforced it a little, so it's definitely not being used as a brake anytime soon, but looks kind of cool.
Yeah, who painted it?
My buddy Cole did the base coat and the candy, and then Seasick, who's coming here this weekend, did all the airbrush and this kind of detail on the tank, and he laid all the freak drops and detail and fades down with black over silver, and then we had a couple shades of, it's like orange glow and copper candy that my buddy Travis donated to the build, which is huge thanks. But yeah, those guys kind of knocked it out of the park and really make it pop, because I couldn't paint like that. It'd be a lot rougher. But yeah, so I got a B&H mousetrap here, working a pro clutch, so I think it works okay. You don't really see them on bikes too often, and
Yeah, I've never really seen that.
yeah, they you always see them like for sale once in a while. You never see them in use, and Curtis gave me it broken and incomplete, so I just got some like shit from McMaster Car, and it seems to work.
Seems like
I
it pulls really
think.
easy.
Yeah, it's like just about, I mean, a strong figure,
Yeah.
right?
You got them strong.
But yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Kind of went crazy with the drill. Couple holes. I made I made the oil tank a little smaller than a horseshoe, but I had this big chunk of 5/8. I just ran a ball mill through to make it kind of like an oil cooler, maybe. It's kind of heavy, but it takes like, yeah, it holds way more oil, so I don't know. That might help 1% down the road, but yeah. Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
the brake
yeah.
setup there.
Yeah, with that, just the master cylinder off there.
Yeah.
That's just I was gonna make that look nicer. I just welded a stock FX bracket to it. Hey, good to see you.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, good.
Oh, sorry.
We're just going through. This is Bob. Yeah.
Hello, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, you good.
No,
What do you think
But-
of it? Oh, it's beautiful.
I think you sold me parts for it
Oh,
at
did I?
Tenino. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I got
That's
lots
cool.
of stuff down there.
It's funny how many bikes over the years that somebody's like, yeah, I bought parts from you.
Yeah.
They're-
Here it is.
Yeah, that's cool.
I might have bought those trees off you. I don't remember. They came from Tenino either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be there this year?
I'd really like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. Well, I got
Okay.
a booth, me and Tammy.
No kidding.
Over
Yeah,
there.
it's a good one.
Have a good one. Well,
But yeah,
I think
just
we covered it all.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What
I think
else?
we're-
Any
anything
cool
of
details?
of great detail. Let's see. Oh, the piston cooling jets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So these S&S cases had a head oiler here and here, and I robbed this to feed piston cooling jets inside the case. So this pinch bolt that goes through the case, I welded solid, welded the other side solid, and then drilled and tapped this for a banjo fitting. On the other side of the now solid hole, I just drilled and tapped a blind hole. So instead of a pinch bolt, it's just a regular bolt. Underneath that, I drilled in, located that hole, drilled into the cylinder sleeves to find it, and then welded that bottom one shut, and then made tiny little jets. Took about 9 attempts to, this was days and days and days. It was awful. But I made these little tiny jets that fit that passageway, fed off of this head oiler into there,
And banjo.
and it actually does work. It does work. It mists oil. When you got the heads off, it actually mists to seemingly a good area. So we'll see if it starts smoke going down the road. If it washes the cylinders too bad, I don't know. I'll put a metering jet in if need be, but it should be low pressure oil going through a small orifice should increase velocity enough to mist. Science, that's right. So I guess, yeah, I forget about it because all it looks like is this, but it was like 20 hours of my life I will never get back, so I can't forget it. Yeah, kind of a detail. I'll be telling that to everyone this weekend.
Check out my jet.
Whether they want to hear it or not. Oh, this is kind of neat too. There's an LED right in here, and this is just like acrylic. So the brake light and running light just lights up this plastic, and then there's like some holes here. So it kind of works. It's not bad. It's not super bright, but
It just runs off your Jenny, right?
yeah. There's no battery or anything, so it just goes off. It does the trick. It looks kind of clean. Yeah. What other little? Yeah. Those are probably the big ones.
Well, this is a 1948 matching cases 93-inch stroker. I picked up somehow a few blocks from my house in Winnipeg, which is kind of unheard of. I got the whole bike. Obviously, just the motor and trans are part of that, but I got the whole bike for like $5,000 Canadian, which is pretty crazy deal. I sold the mag and front end, so I'm like 3,500 Canadian to the motor and trans before like I took it apart and did whatnot, but it was on an apparent rebuild. I didn't know if I believed it. Took it apart, all assembly oil or assembly grease and stuff together. So that's pretty cool. I got the frame. Well, I got the cradle. It was just the bottom cradle and the post from this guy in South Dakota. I traded a sissy bar for, which is pretty cool. And then yeah, I got the castings from Lowbrow just because they hooked it up with the builders, and then kind of got a little crazy with it. I did a double country bar on base here, which is something a little bit different. You can see I molded the neck cups into the neck, something a little bit different there. Yeah. Then I did like a double bend on the frame rails coming down, castings. Yeah, I did my.
It makes it real narrow, huh?
Yeah, fairly narrow. I had this idea from my buddy Charles's bike. We did it the same duck fin, but I didn't. I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to run a light in there. So I figured, fuck it, I'll try it out, and it turned out pretty cool. Might suck in the rain, but probably won't ride it in the rain, so not a big deal. I did one of my own front ends in inline. I made it a little bit different. I ran DOM up to the top, so I have a bit of a cherry there. Around my risers in line here, did a little bit of bend with the rubber mounts. Got an internal throttle from XL. They hooked it up for the build. I machined these. Make a little.
Those?
I do sell these. Yeah, I sell them now. These ones are actually the prototypes I did, and I kept them.
You sell those springers too?
I sell these springers. This is number 229, and I'm actually at 252 right now. So this is a bit ago.
Where do they buy them?
What's that?
Where can they buy them?
northernspringers.com, or hit me up on Instagram, Northern Springers. I can make anything you really want within reason or without reason. So yeah, we can do that. Seat is a distressed leather, hand braided by B&C Cycles. Jeff, this is my boy, gave me a little feature right here, which is kind of cool. A couple other little details on the chain guard.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I fabricated pretty much everything I could have. I did the frame, the exhaust, the controls, the shifter, the chain guard. Did the fabric on the sissy, the front end. Pretty much what I could, I did. I had the idea to run a split tank, but molded together so you can't really tell. So I got my oil and gas in one. It's 70-30. Kind of cool. Got my oil line coming in so you can see when it's pumping. Molded it to the frame, which is a big risk, but some people call me a risk taker. So yeah, big reward. So kind of cool. Yeah, I got a 17 brand new front wheel. Probably spent more money on the front wheel than the motor, and I'm actually serious about that. So yeah, it's kind of something a little bit different with the front wheel. It's it could have looked like a little bit more choppery with a 21, but I figured, you know what, something a little different. I kind of fucked myself originally because I didn't measure the proper length for a crossover, and I made it a little bit shorter, so I had to get a little custom because I was rubbing the exhaust. But whatever. And yeah, it rips. It's pretty fast, and it doesn't stop the best. But
You made the pipes?
yeah, the pipes are all me. I pinched and kind of crimped up. It's like a little thing I kind of like to do. I've done it on my other bike before.
Yeah.
I like the way it works. Down facing slash cuts. And yeah, the paint was done by Ian Croker out of Winnipeg, Von Knob Custom Paints, and he killed it. I'm very happy with it. And yeah, little other details.
You made those risers? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I made the risers, the bars, made everything I could have. But yeah, I hope you guys like it. And hit me up if you ever want a front end, Northern Springers.